Hi everyone. On this edition of Horror Reel Recap, we will be discussing Return to Silent Hill. Return to Silent Hill is an adaptation of the game Silent Hill 2. So I wanted to preface this video with, I have never played any of the Silent Hill games. So going into this movie, and then also when I watched the original Silent Hill movie and then its sequel, I don't have any frame or point of reference for what's going on in the movies. I can't really judge them based on what their games are and their adaptations of that. And so this entire video is just going to be my interpretation of the movie that I saw, and not a comparison to the game that it's based on, which is Silent Hill 2. And so I personally felt a little lost due to the nature of what I gathered Silent Hill to be. And I mean the place, not the movie itself. Silent Hill, in my eyes and my perception, from what, like I said, I can gather, is that it's a place that James goes to in his mind to face all of the traumas and tragedies in his life. And then all of these creatures and monsters that he faces throughout the movie are just manifestations that he's created inside of his mind, that he has to face to get to the next point in his healing process. And so as we go through the movie, I'm sure there's plenty of references that I miss because I haven't played the games, of course. And I'm sure that there's plenty of things that are to be interpreted a certain way, but I can't interpret them that way because I haven't played, or I don't have the preconceived notions of the original context and the original subtext of the film itself. Now, moving on for just a minute, I don't think that this movie is bad by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think it's like great per se, but it's certainly not a bad movie. Starting with just the pacing in general, this movie doesn't feel like it drags at all. It's got a segmented feel to it, and so we're constantly getting to the next point, kind of like a video game feels. And so there's not really much time to wait and want more. We are just constantly moving to more. And I like that about a movie. I don't like feeling pacing, and I didn't feel this one at all. I think the visuals are exceptional, and especially in the character design. Everything in this world is terrifying and genuinely like creepy, and it's really cool how they all just fit together. Nothing feels out of place here. And then especially with character design specifically, I'm thinking about I don't even know what the fuck the bed monster was. That thing was fucking terrifying for the short amount of time it was on screen. Pyramid Head is really cool. Just visually, stylistically looks awesome. And then I think of the very end of the movie when James meets Mary again, and she's just this giant moth. That shot of her, just like kind of like this, gorgeous, straight up gorgeous. I think a lot of the CGI, or at least like half of the CGI, looks pretty great. Half of it's kind of hit or miss. I think of some like blood splatter in the movie, and then also some fire. CG doesn't look the greatest, but I can look past that just based on everything else that I've seen. It just looks great. Now, one aspect of the film that I was very curious about when it was introduced is the cult stuff and the familial stuff, just because I love seeing what a filmmaker and writer can do with the idea of a cult or the aspects of cults. And I think this one introduced a really cool one. I think everything that they were doing is very interesting, and I wanted more, and I didn't get more. And so I felt a little disappointed there, but also I feel like that's just another movie within the movie that I'd be so willing to watch. It is so compelling in the moment, seeing where Mary is coming from. But also, I don't know if that stuff is real or not. Just based on the nature of what is given to me, I can't trust that anything in or at or around Silent Hill is actually happening. And I like that. I like being able to kind of piece together what is real and what's not real, which is why I like psychological horror so much. It's very much up for interpretation, and I love that. Now, I'm thinking here, and there's not really much negative that I can even think of in the moment, or even kind of want to say. I don't like being negative towards film. I don't know, I went in with the expectation, no, it's just slop, it's going to be another one of those video game adaptations that I just don't like. No, this is fairly fine, even though I don't really know what it's adapting. I think that the movie is fine. I don't think that the critic scores or whatever, that bullshit, matters generally doesn't really matter. Go in with an open mind and just watch the movie. I hate being told something is bad and then my entire perception is just gone by the time I get to it. And it's just because the entire time I'm going to be thinking, oh, this movie's bad before I even start it. I don't really have much else to say. I think Return to Silent Hill is probably overly hated and the movie is barely even out. And I hope that there's more to the story. I'm very curious as to I don't know if there's more games. I don't know if there's more movies planned or anything like that. But I'd be very interested in seeing what they would do next with the idea of Silent Hill. Are the games in my future? Probably. I should probably play them. I've heard that they're incredible horror games. I'm not much of a horror game person. I can watch them all day, all night. But put me in that first person point of view and I am a wreck. I can't deal with it. It's really hard. But yeah, I found the relationship between James and Mary to be compelling. I found all of the characters that James interacts with, except for probably Eddie, to be honest, to mean something. And it always made me want more, and it always gave me more. And I'm very happy with what the film is. Is there a better adaptation? I don't know. I haven't played the games. And so from what I've seen of this, I think this is a fairly fine movie. And on a horror aspect, just generally on a horror scale, I think this is also just fine. The horror elements are there. Nothing is too scary other than a couple of jump scares here and there, which kind of got me a couple of times. I like that. It's pretty sweet. They're not cheap. Now, is this the worst movie you'll ever see? Absolutely not. I wouldn't call it great, but it is certainly good. And with that, I'll conclude this discussion about Return to Silent Hill. I'd love to discuss more with you, so if you have anything to add to the conversation, absolutely drop a comment down below. Stay tuned for the end of month horror reel roundup, where I will not only be ranking Return to Silent Hill, but also all of the horror films that released this month. That video will be out in the first week of February. Until then, this has been Justin King, and may the hours ahead be kind to you.